What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Do Better podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe at the bottom. Back for another episode. Should be a shorter session. Um, Doing this one solo. We're going to be talking a lot about just what the recruiting process entails and kind of how to navigate that. I'll give you some insight into uh, my process when I was going through it, both in high school and college. And after that, we'll wrap up. So, to start the recruiting process, what is it like, right? So a coach is going to see you playing at a game or get some film from you, and they'll start reaching out, let you know that they are going to be recruiting you. And kind of what goes from there is getting more film from you, um, kind of repetitive check-ins like every month, see what you have coming up in the schedule. Prior to the season, they'll probably ask for your game schedule, and at some point, they will come out and watch a game, right? So after that, there's going to be a lot of discussions with these coaches. I think a big part that you can do to help yourself is to um, be very engaging with them, right? Kind of um, don't kind of dismiss any coaches because a lot of coaches do talk and you get blacklisted because you think you're too good to go to a certain program or you say you don't really care for that area or anything like that. Um, it could diminish your recruiting, right? So um, be very open and excited about the fact that this coach has approached you and wants to recruit you because it is a big deal. So don't think you're above any school or any area or any division because they all know each other. So the big thing to be excited and open to every school that comes into contact with you. Um, throughout throughout this process, um, coaches will not lie to you, but they're not always going to be 100% forthcoming, right? And I think you need to look at it from the coach's perspective, right? Like just getting, they're going to be doing a lot of their due diligence, right? So they're going to want to see a lot of footage. They're going to want to see a lot of film. They're going to want to watch you play in person a lot because they're taking a chance on you. In a given year, a school may have from 5 to 6 at the most scholarships or just roster spots available. So again, they're seeing thousands of kids every single day in all these open gyms, getting emails. They're seeing a lot of different prospects. So it's important for them to do their due diligence and why do they want you at their program. The best thing you can do is give them more reasons why, right? They're already talking to you. They already know how good you are. At this point, it's about how do you conduct yourself? Are you um, speaking to them professionally? Are you getting back to their texts at reasonable times? Are you just doing all those little things, right? I remember when UC Irvine came out to watch me play, I had a pretty rough first half, right? I was kind of forcing some issues. I was, you know, not playing as well as I could have. Right? I was kind of trying to do too much. And I remember at halftime, my coach brings me aside and he's just like, hey, dude, they already know you can shoot. They already know you can score. They already know who you are on the offensive side of the ball. Like, don't even worry about that. They've seen that. That's why they're talking to you. What they want to see is you defending, diving on loose balls, rebounding, all the things that you may not have showcased before. They want to see that now. So again, it's like just give them more and more reasons to want you, right? And um, another thing is like if you don't have any offers, a lot of times coaches are going to be more hesitant to pull the trigger on offering you because it's kind of this weird like thing, right? Obviously, they're trying to get as many good players as they can for a good value, right? That's always a priority, right? So, like with me, right, coming out of high school, I had interest from some D3s, some JUCOs, and a couple Division Ones and a NAIA. And the NAIA initially was talking about offering me X%, da da da. And then they asked who else do I have interest from. And I said, oh, well, these schools and then this Division One, UC Irvine. And they're like, oh, okay, are they offering you? I was like, no, they're offering me a walk-on spot right now. But that's all I really know. And he's like, okay, okay. So how would you feel about walking on at our program? And I pretty much told him, I was like, I don't see why I would walk on at NAIA when I could walk on at Division One, right? So um, they're really hesitant to want to give you that offer if no one else is. So securing that first offer can open up a lot of doors because other coaches, it gives you more what's the word? Reliability. It gives you, I can't think of the word, but it's basically they're more willing to offer you because someone else has, right? So um, that's kind of the gist of it, right? Like they want to see that someone else has interest in you, and it's kind of this weird political game, right? Where, well, no one's offering you. Should I be the one to offer you? Like, what are these coaches not seeing that I don't see at this point, right? So getting that first offer is important. Um, Another thing too, when you're working with these coaches, is like don't get your hopes up with certain coaches or certain programs too soon, right? They haven't offered you until they have offered you, right? Um, like I remember when I was in college, I left UC Irvine. I was at Ventura College during COVID year, so we played in a couple tournaments. I drew some interest from a couple different schools, and basically the first meeting, I'm meeting with the head coach, and he's very excited to talk to me. He's very excited to recruit me, and he's like pretty much without saying it, he's saying I'm going, or he did say I'm going to offer you. Like I really want you. I like who you are as a person. I like who you are as a player. Like you stood out to me for these reasons, X, Y, and Z, and we have every intent to offer you. And then a few months go by, play some other tournaments. Their assistants kept in touch a little bit, and then crickets, right? There's no more communication, completely stopped. So um, I was very excited for that. And when I just stopped hearing for months and months from these guys, I played in a couple tournaments and I'm not hearing anything. It's like, okay, so their word doesn't always mean as much as they probably would like it to mean because uh, they want you to be interested in their program and they want to keep your attention until you no longer satisfy their needs. So again, it's important to remember that, right? It can be very frustrating. I know for me, it was incredibly frustrating that, I just didn't think it was right, right? Like, uh, from a player's perspective, it's like, hey, man, you told me all of these things, and now it's not even going to be like hey, we're going a different direction, which is fine. But a lot of times you don't even get to hear that. You don't get to hear a why. You don't get to hear who else you're going to take instead of you. It's just kind of later, never going to talk to you again. So manage expectations. It's very important. Um, and you don't have an offer until you have an offer. Um, Getting into my next topic, when it comes to picking a school that is going to best suit you, right? I think the best analogy for this is going to be Bronny James, right? So, and this isn't going to be a Bronny uh, slander session, right? I don't care what I don't care either way. James is all I'm trying to say. But so he gets drafted, right? And a lot of people had different opinions on that. That he did deserve it, that he didn't deserve it, that it was nepotism, but nepotism's all throughout the league, da da da. I think at the end of the day, if you're looking at numbers to school he played for, to role on that team, Like he didn't deserve to get drafted. I don't think that's completely ridiculous, right? Averaging 5 points a game on a mediocre USC team rotation player. I don't think a player like that's probably ever been drafted before. And mind you, he's 6'2". So he's not like a big that shows a lot of potential with athleticism. Obviously, he's very athletic, but he's not 6'9" with very long, like a Joel Embiid situation going into Kansas. Obviously, he was great in college, but he's not like this big potential guy where he's very big, still kind of raw. It's like, no, he's 6'2", very athletic, but didn't produce in college, right? And so now he's been doing well in the G League. He's been doing well in the summer league. He's been playing very well. And everyone's like, see, he did deserve to be drafted. It's like, that doesn't necessarily mean he deserved to be drafted. But what is significant about Bronny James in terms of picking a school that you want to go to is opportunity, right? Bronny's doing very well now because he can play carefree. He knows if he makes mistakes, he's going to get another shot, right? There's room for growth. He can go out and play carefree. He has all the opportunity to make whatever it is he wants out of his career, right? So that's why it's important for you guys to understand that opportunity in terms of playing time and being on the court is more important now than really it ever has been, right? Because of NIL, because of the transfer portal, because JUCOs don't take eligibility from you anymore, right? If you're looking at it and you're in high school and you don't have any real schools you would like to go to, or no one's really looking at you, or there's some walk-on spots in bigger places, but they don't have a history of really doing anything with their walk-ons, right? Like I was fortunate enough to walk on to UC Irvine, where he has a history of playing his walk-on guys. Like he plays everybody and he gives everybody a chance. But that's not at every school, right? So picking a school that gives you opportunity is probably the most important factor right now, especially if you're you could possibly going into a bad situation, or, you're coming into a school where there's 6, 7, 8 senior classmen ahead of you, right? JUCO is as good of an option as it ever has been, maybe even a better option now because it's not taking away your eligibility anymore. And now you can take those 2 years and you can really start to get used to the flow of college, right? And you can get used to the speed of the game. It's a little slower than it's going to be. It's slower than it's going to be at the higher levels, but it's still a step up from college, right? JUCO is still it's good basketball, right? So it's still going to be a step up from high school, and you're much more likely to go to a place that you're going to have a lot of opportunity, right? If you're a good player, which can put you in a position where you've showcased who you are as a player, and you can go to a higher level school than you may have been able to as a high school kid, right? And if you just fall into a school that is already lower level and there's not a lot of opportunity, then you're kind of stuck there, right? So being able to utilize JUCO can be very beneficial because you can build your stock of who you are as a player at the college level, which with the transfer portal is mostly what college coaches are looking for anyway. It's guys who've been through college. So you can go to these smaller schools that are going to give you more opportunity to showcase yourself as a college basketball player, and then utilize all that you've just produced over the last year or 2 years. And now your stock is way, way higher going into the next level, right? Whether it's Division 1, 2, or 3. And now you're going to have more options, right? Which programs actually fit your strengths, right? That's another important thing, is it's going to be hard for guys who haven't played certain college systems to get thrown into a school where, like, if you're used to running and gunning and playing off the move and moving the ball around, cuttings, all that, and then you go into a very structured system, it's going to take an adjustment. It's going to take it's going to take some time to get comfortable playing like that, slowing the game down. Um, Throwing the ball into the post, no one really does that anymore, but there's a lot of people in college who utilize their big men in the post a lot more. So finding a school that is going to give you opportunity is going to be more beneficial than a higher going to a school that's going to give you more opportunity is going to be more beneficial for you than going to a higher division school, especially in the long run, where with NIL, colleges can actually pay you. Like they can give you money. It's not just name, image, and likeness anymore. The college can actually give you money. So building that stock from high school, if you want to go JUCO or to a smaller school that's going to give you more opportunity to grow your stock, I think that's going to be a much better play down the line rather than going into a situation where you're not going to have a lot of opportunity. And now I'm not saying to shy away from that challenge, right? Because that too will make you a better basketball player. What it comes down to is understanding who you are and what you'll actually thrive in better. Are you going to thrive in being at a place where everyone's better than you and you're growing? Are you going to be able to maintain your confidence and who you are as a basketball player when you're not really playing in games or you're getting a couple minutes here and there and you really have to prove yourself? If that's something that's going to bode well for you, then absolutely go to that school, get better, spend your time there, earn your minutes, and that's going to be great. But if those opportunities aren't even there and you feel like you shouldn't go to JUCO or this or that, like just go to a junior college and build your stock and showcase who you are at the college level, and it's going to pay dividends for you down the line. And that could be the best thing with the transfer portal for players is being able to adapt to the speed of the game, right? What is the biggest difference between high school and college is the speed of the game. Everything's faster. You're playing on a bigger court as well. No one really likes to talk about that, but the court's much bigger. The spacing's way different. The college basketball 3-point line is now back to the Euro line, so it's an extra 2 feet from where you're used to shooting from. So again, being able to go to a school that's going to give you opportunity and let you adapt to the speed of the college game is going to be a huge difference. And so please don't throw yourself into an opportunity because you think there's no other options. There's so many options out there for basketball. Like college basketball is huge. Every level is respected within the college game, from JUCO to NAIA, Division III, all the way on up, right? So don't feel like you're too good for a certain level, or I mean, I get not wanting to stay like in your hometown. That was a big thing for me because my junior college, local JUCO was recruiting me out of high school, and I really just wanted to get out, right? I wanted to go somewhere else. I thought that was going to be the best thing for me for in terms of progressing both as a person and as a basketball player. Get rid of more distractions. You go to a new school, the only people you know are going to be on your basketball team. You guys can kind of make the most out of what that could be, right? It could be more distractions. You're all distracted together, or it could mean more focus, right? And that's going to be up to you um, at the end of the day. So um, again, another quick pod. Just wanted to go over sort of the recruiting process, what to expect. You guys are all playing those live events right now, and some coaches are going to start reaching out to you, and um, it's good to know how to navigate that process. It's good to know how to manage expectations and understand what it's all going to entail. Just because a coach reaches out to you doesn't necessarily mean he's going to offer you. Just because a coach says they're going to offer you doesn't mean they're going to offer you. So manage your expectations and just know that nothing's real until it's in writing. So um, don't think you can take your foot off the gas pedal just because one or two coaches have reached out to you. There's still a lot of work to be done. There's still a lot more they want to see. All the texting, all that means is they're interested. They like something they saw, and they want to move further into your evaluation period, right? That's all it's going to be, especially if you're like a junior going into your senior year. They're going to be at a couple of your games throughout the season. And then if they're still not sure on whether to pull the trigger, you can go play AAU till throughout that April period where they can still watch you. And then they're going to make a decision on whether you're the right fit for their program. Okay, so just keep building your stock, keep doing all those little things we've talked about in the past, and be respectful to these coaches. Be excited that they're reaching out to you, they're expressing interest. Right, that's a good feeling for basketball players to get that sort of validation that all the work y'all have been putting in is coming to fruition, and these colleges are noticing you. But other than that, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching Do Better Pod. Be sure to like and subscribe. And if y'all have any questions, leave in the comments. You can DM me. Other than that, do better.